I wanted to be in broadcast. So I wanted to be in radio. I did that. When I was in high school,
You were a DJ?
I was a DJ at a country and western radio station.
Get out.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. You left college before you finished.
Yeah, I did. I got this opportunity to work for the CBS all-news radio station in San Francisco. So I dropped out of college thinking I would re-enroll at
What did your parents think?
My mother wasn't, she was excited about the career opportunity, but, she said, if you don't get that degree, you're not going to make anything of yourself.
Hey, Mom! Hello, everybody. I'm Al Roker, and welcome to Cold Cuts. It's where we pile on the meats, the cheeses, anything you want with very special guests. And today, we've decided to class up the joint because we've got my friend, the anchor of NBC Nightly News, Mr. Lester Holt.
Al, great to be here. Great to be out of a tie.
That's right. We said no ties. We're out of the, no jackets, no ties.
We keep trying to figure out a cooking segment in Nightly News. We're not there yet. But this could be the start of something.
Hard rolls and hard news.
Oh, I like that.
There you go. We've got a lot of foods here that we know you like. I understand pie. Diner pie is one of your favorites.
I love fruity desserts and pies. And one of the things, living in Manhattan, all these great fancy restaurants, nobody does comfort desserts. Yeah. Everything is chocolate lace this with salted caramel and nuts and foams. And somebody just give me a pie.
Yeah.
I like to actually make cherry pie or cherry cobbler.
See, I did not know you were a baker.
Well, I'm an eater. And since I can't find a restaurant that will serve it, it's like, doggone it, I'll do it myself.
I'll make it myself. You're a big fan of the kiddie type cold cereal.
Not anymore, but through my 30s, I would eat, I can't believe I'm saying this, I would eat Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch.
Wow.
Not only for breakfast, but for snacks. I'm looking at that right now. Oh my God, I gotta do it. I have not had, a Lucky Charm marshmallow and so on.
See, the whole marshmallow thing, I want my cereal crunchy. I don't want little soft squishy.
I actually work around the Odie things. I don't know what those are.
So you go for the marshmallow.
I go for the marshmallows. We're not putting them on the sandwich.
No, thank goodness. As we get ready for your sandwich, what's your favorite kind of bread? Because we've got all kinds.
I gotta say, the pretzel roll. Is pretty amazing. And it calls for like mustard. I just look at that and I think mustard, yeah. And then fill in the blanks.
I mean, this is your basic to start. But I've always been, because we never talked about this, when did you know you wanted to be an anchor?
Oh my goodness, I don't think I ever wanted to be an anchor. I wanted to be in broadcasting. So I wanted to be in radio. I did that. When I was in high school.
You were a DJ?
I was a DJ at a country and western radio station.
Get out.
Yeah. I would work like midnight to 6, Saturday and Sundays.
Oh wow, doing country music?
Doing country music.
Give me a talk up to an intro. Let me hear.
Let's see, 1140 KRAK, Les Holt and Company, the all-night trucking show. It's 55 degrees out, going up to a high of 60 right now. If you're going across the Sierras on I-80 truckers, you'll need those chains to do this. There's snow up there. I would do the whole thing.
Oh wow!
And then right now, here's Conway Twitty.
Conway Twitty.
Conway Twitty.
I didn't realize it. You left college before you finished.
Yeah, I did. I got this opportunity to work for the CBS all-news radio station in San Francisco. It was number 5 market, big deal. And so I dropped out of college thinking I would re-enroll at.
What did your parents think?
My mother wasn't, she was excited about the career opportunity, but, she said, if you don't get that degree, you're not going to make anything of yourself.
Hey, Mom!
Both of my boys have degrees, and there's a lot of important reasons. But in my case, life was moving along very quickly. And I'm in radio, and next thing I know it, I'm on my way at 22 years old to New York City to work on the CBS TV station here.
What year was that?
I think it was 81, summer of 81.
Because I grew up here, and I remember you on Channel 2.
I remember you were on Channel 4.
Yeah, and I thought, this guy's he's good looking, he's got the voice, he's got the whole 9 yards. And then you're in the movie The Fugitive.
I was, yeah, because I went to Chicago and worked for 14 years as an anchor, and the director, he liked authentic people, so he wanted local reporters.
I have no idea. Come on, how many one-armed men are there around?
Yeah, I didn't remember those little cameo things back in the 90s.
It's just so amazing. All right, let's get to the meat of the matter. What's your favorite meat to go into a sandwich? We've got the roll, the pretzel roll.
Yeah, turkey.
I'll give you a little turkey.
Bacon. Everything goes better with bacon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a given.
Yeah.
Speaking of meat, you've done a lot of meaty interviews. Sitting down with President Trump, did you have any idea going in that your interview with him was really what people consider the crux of everything that has gone on with the Mueller investigation and all these other things. That when you were sitting down with him, that this was going to happen.
We knew when we originally booked the interview for Will, it was going to be a broad-ranging discussion. We're going to talk about Korea, because I had just come back from South Korea, and kind of a wide-ranging issues. In the time between they agreed to do the interview and the time it happened, he had fired James Comey as FBI director. So that turned everything. We knew that was going to be the bulk of the conversation. I also knew from previous interviews, he tends to want to own things. I think that's a lot of the secret to success. He owns positions, and so when I began asking those questions, he immediately, I fired him. Here's why I did it, and laid it out. And sometimes in the middle of the interview, you're trying to. Your mind's going on different levels. One, I've got to keep the conversation moving. The other one is you have to listen, and there's that moment of like, did he just say what I think he said?
Regardless of recommendation, I was going to fire Comey, knowing there was no good time to do it.
When he said that, what were you thinking?
It wasn't like an aha moment. It was like, I guess we're going there. I guess this is gonna, we're gonna move this along. So I just wanted to keep him focused. I mean, talking to any politician, as can be very difficult, because you ask what time it is, they'll tell you what color the sky is. That's just the nature of politics. It was only really after the interview that you start thinking about, like, I remember turning to one of our colleagues, I said, I think that interview may have just made news,
Probably the understatement of the year. Oh, cheese. Now we've got all kinds here. We've got blue and Havarti.
I think, do we have any brie?
Well, yeah. Well, this is this is a brie.
Yeah, and brie melts very nice.
It does.
Nicely.
Brie is a nice melting cheese.
I can use my fingers here, right?
Sure.
I'm the one eating this. I'm eating this thing, so.
One of the ways that you have your you time is that you've got a band.
I do.
Lester Holt and the Rough Cuts.
I don't know how that came. There was drinking involved, I can tell you that. It was at a Dateline party a couple of years ago. We decided we're going to do Christmas carols.
You play bass.
I play bass, but a bunch of us said I can sing, and we did some Christmas carols. And that led to a deeper conversation about musical talent, and I play bass, and I play drums. She plays keyboard. We should jam sometime.
So are you self-taught?
Self-taught, yeah. I picked up the bass when I was in junior high. The jazz choir needed a rhythm section, so I went to a pawn shop, bought a bass, bought some books, and kind of figured it out.
What's the secret to your success? What's your secret sauce?
I think it's kind of enthusiasm. I mean, I still get tickled I get tickled that I have this job. When people stop me on the street and they say something really, really nice, and I'll walk away thinking, they know it's me. There's a part of me that just, I just really enjoy what I do, and hopefully it comes across that way. And I also always want to be better tomorrow than I was today. I used to sit as a kid and watch NBC Nightly News. I mean, really, and now, I'm the anchor of the broadcast.
I've seen you and been with you in almost every kind of situation, and I have never seen a look on your face of more bliss when you're holding your new grandson.
Oh, it's the best.
What is that like?
It is. It's just this, we all understand generations and stuff, but when you're not only holding your grandkid, when my son is holding his son, I look at that and I just like, this is the way it works. These are the generations that are going to hopefully do better than me and do great things, and it's awesome. It's also different than holding your own kids, because it's true. You don't have the same amount of responsibility.
For folks who don't live here in New York, your son Stefan is the 6 o'clock anchor on NBC, and a lot of times you guys do tosses with each other, teasing nightly news. What is that like?
There's moments sometimes where I'll go on their broadcasts and just talk about what's coming up on nightly news. He used to say Dad. Yeah. He used to go, now let's find out what's coming up on NBC Nightly News. Lester Holt is here, Dad. We both agreed, okay, let's just throttle it down a little bit.
Marion, I'm up way past my bedtime. I get to say Nightly News is coming up at 5:30. NBC's Lester Holt here with a preview of the newscast. Hi, Dad.
Well, I got to check my watch. I thought this was the morning. Good to see you, Stefan.
All right, so we're almost done sandwich-wise here. What condiments do you like using?
Oh, well, I mentioned mustard. Often the grainy mustards. Sometimes I'll do the honey mustard, but I try to limit the sugar if I can. What is that? We have a
Some sort of mustard.
yeah, some sort of mustard.
Some sort of mustard.
Yeah, mustard works really well with everything, and especially when it has a nice little tang. Caramelized onions can work.
Good thing you don't have a co-anchor.
That's a spare onion. Do we have pickles?
Right here.
Yeah, right. I have a funny feeling that it would add a really nice tang to a sandwich like this. Tomato works
Oh, yeah.
on everything.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with tomatoes.
Little sprouts. Yeah. I don't put enough greens on. My wife's always after me, oh, you need more lettuce, more. I'm like, it's the lawn. I don't know. It just doesn't. I put on green things because,
Because your wife says to.
well, yeah, and I understand, they're good for you, but it's like, really?
You've been married for 35 years.
36.
36 years?
Yeah.
What's the secret? What's your top 3 tips?
Somebody
for
asked me that the
success?
other day. I think the number one is being able to laugh together. Through good times and bad times.
Right.
The bad times you're not laughing immediately, but afterwards you're like, what? That was. I think laughter.
Number 2?
I think number 2 is from a husband standpoint. I think sometimes learning when to be quiet and let the moment pass sometimes and to listen and that's hard. I'm not saying these things are easy.
Right.
I think listening is really important because sometimes we understand our feelings, but we don't necessarily appreciate. So that's something. But marriage is really. It's like I said, my profession. I want to be better. Tomorrow than I was. Same way about marriage. You really. It's true. You have to work at it.
Top 3 interviews you've done.
Top 3 interviews. Certainly the interview with with President Trump.
Right.
Was an important one. One that stuck with me was a soldier, actually an Air Force parajumper I met in Afghanistan, who had just been wounded, and he showed me the hole that had come up to the bottom of a helicopter.
There it is right there. It's the AK-47 hole.
It had pierced his goggle, pierced his helmet. He had 5 stitches. And I just remember standing with him, and it was a particularly tough time. These are U.S. Air Force combat search and rescue guys. It had been a particularly rough time for them. They'd picked up a lot of wounded, and I was just amazed by the fact he was willing to go out there again. I'm like, dude, man, God just sent you a message here. That bullet, but they're just that loyalty to each other. It was just powerful.
And then number 3.
And number 3, it was a family, when I worked in Los Angeles years ago, it was a family in Los Angeles who had just lost a son. It was a family with 13 kids, and they had agreed to donate his heart. And they had agreed to talk to us, which I was surprised, and I was a little daunted. We walked in this waiting room, and they were talking about it. They wanted the world to know what a great kid he was. This kid had run for mayor. He was 18 years old. But it was just the way that they took it as an opportunity to kind of uplift each other and this young man. And it was just always stood in my mind. I'll never forget them walking outside. I'm going to get weepy if I'm not careful, but they walked outside and the helicopter lands and they're standing there and the surgical team comes rushing out and gets on the chopper. It was very powerful. But those things are the things that stick with me, is how people deal with challenges, with grief, and how they somehow, more often than not, they were able to put one foot in front of the other. You and I both see it. We cover these things, and I'm always stunned by how people just pick up and move on.
I understand you're making something warm for us. I'm going to put a little butter in here.
Ah. You a big sandwich guy?
I do like the sandwich, although I'm a very simple, I will admit, I'm a very simple sandwich guy. My favorite sandwich is a plain grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Maybe a little tomato.
All right, let's see what happens here. I think I may have to hold that bad boy down. I don't know. Is that a thing? There's probably a thing that does this, other than your hand. I don't know.
See, I'm not sure that's going to get hot enough to melt.
Yeah, I wonder if I
cheese.
should have gone with a thinner bread.
Here, well, let's see.
Welcome to the new 2-hour edition of Cold Cuts.
Now, we could
Because
do
that's what it's going to take to get this thing to melt.
Tell me about Dateline. I'm always fascinated about Dateline. Okay, the promo line is "Don't watch alone." That's a threatening.
Well, but it works. So don't dig too deep, all right?
Okay.
It's a promo line, all right?
I know.
It's really awesome to be part of a show that's been on the air for so long. I don't think there's a better group of storytellers than our combination of correspondence. I mean, Keith Morrison.
What a strange, marvelous, and sometimes terrifying thing a life can be in a big city or in a little town or out in the country.
I mean, he weaves a story in.
I think when you're finally parodied on Saturday Night Live, you have made it. When I see Bill Hader or I see Keith Morrison, they're the same person.
She had murdered our neighbors.
What's the one interview you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Oh, I mean, I think I would love to sit down with Kim Jong-un. I've had an opportunity to go to both South and North Korea. What's happening right now with this sudden openness to discuss nuclear weapons is amazing, given where we were, less than a year ago with fire and fury and all the insults trading back and forth. So it would be interesting to hear from him.
I think this is about as good as it's going to get.
It looks really good.
We can slice this.
Yeah, okay. Everything goes better with avocado. That looks amazing.
We'll cut it in half and share these. Cheers.
Cheers, yes. I don't know if you can do that, but we just did.
That's pretty darn good. So starting next week on NBC Nightly News, hard news with hard rolls, Lester Holt. Inspiring America with cold cuts. It's going to be fantastic. And that's another edition of Cold Cuts. Lester Holt, Al Roker. You have a good time making your favorite sandwich. Remember, it's just like America, only you can eat it.
Have you ever done a food segment where you don't take a bite and go, Have you ever done one where you go, ooh?
I did. There was one.
Really?
There was one on the Today Show, and it was really bad. And I'm not going to even say who but it was like, Thank you for watching Cold Cuts. To watch more videos like these, just click here. If you want to subscribe to our channel, click here. If you just want to watch your TV do something, don't do anything.